I'm not so indifferent, right? As I want to be. So I still have to learn to not be emotionally triggered by the narcissistic and psychopathic abusers. So, but I feel my progress already that I make. But I will not talk about this today. I made a significant other observation and had a chain of thought connected to it. So in conflict, in primitive conflict, when people are desperate and try to reach goals, in other words, when the psychopath, the goal-driven psychopath, is the highly competitive people, you see it begins with fun. When you make fun, you do something, and they always have to be better, and they really have this energy that they have to do it. So for them it's not really fun. Or when you do a fight for fun, you're just having fun, you're not really competitive, you're just like a child playing, right? They have to win, and they really have this energy, this high competitive energy. But when it gets serious with these people, better believe they do what's necessary, and they are indifferent. They are opportunistic with the opportunities. They take anything that is just the next best thing that is around and use it. And they're insignificant. No, not insignificant. They are indifferent about the emotional results, and they also don't feel it. They're callous, all right? So, and I observed that a psychopath can be the victim or present herself as the victim of their own intentions and creations. But I mean, this is nothing new under the sun. The psychopath should have reality testing and form of the ability to self-reflect. So there should be a small part of them that knows this, but they do not present the real side to the outside. They have this, they only present the facade, right? But in some ways, like in a war, nobody wins something in a war, okay? I mean, we see this in Ukraine. It can be that the winning side has lost much more soldiers and lives than the side that is, there is no winner or loser. I don't even want to use these words. But both sides lose a lot of human life. I mean, the politicians will play out their game. The politicians, the psychopath, the narcissists will play the game of winning and losing. But the soldiers have all lost their lives on both sides, families. But the politicians are psychopathically indifferent about this, okay? Or they pretend to care, but they don't. Because if they would care, they would not start the war, or they could end it anytime. And the same, and when the war is over, there can be this sudden realization of the devastation that has happened to everybody around. And then the psychopath will present themselves as a victim of their own cruelty, of their own callousness, because they will shift they are like washing the narrative all the time, and they will always try to present themselves as the peacemakers, the people with the good intention, and the victim at the same time. And in terms of the psychopath, there should be a small part of them that knows that they are manipulative and that it's not true. The psychopath should have an idea about being a psychopath, and this difference to the narcissist and the covert narcissist. This is also the reason why the charisma of the covert narcissist has a strange, stanchy form of being warmer, appearing more penetrative than the superficial charm of the psychopath. Because the narcissist is fully invested in his delusion. He believes it. He believes it 100%. Whatever the covert narcissist does, he believes it. Whether he says, oh, I fucked up my own company because somebody stole something, even though the covert narcissist thinks it's a great idea to steal from himself, to take the money out of his own company and then claim the company went down the road, it crashed down because he stole his own money out of it. He thinks it's a great idea to be a victim and deflect responsibility for their own actions. Okay, but he believes it. It's insane. It's insane. The psychopath would do the same thing with a plan and reality testing and understanding that, the psychopath can see both sides. The reality that has to be hidden, that has to be deceptive, and the psychopath can distinct both the fake side they present as well as what the reality would actually be. Okay? Yeah, but I found it a significant observation to see how the psychopath can be in some way really the victim of their own cruelty. But we will never know how much of this is true, how much of the psychopath is true. We will never know, because again, they should have some form of reality testing. But it can always be deceptive, right? So, they never admit mistakes or say sorry or something. This is the ever-present attempt to re-narrate, soften up the narration a little bit, creep a little bit back to, shaping the narrative into a more moralized version, into a more humanized version, into a more socially acceptable version. Yet, when you have the eyes for this, when you have a trained eye and you not have the goodwill to take this bait, you see the reptilian nature, and I mean the reptilian brain, the primitive brain, the angry, goal-driven, sneaky, sneezy side that on the go switches the narration, adapts it. If it don't get the result it wants, if the psychopaths don't get the result in the people around them, they can slightly switch the narration. Or when you call them out for being indifferent, why are you so comfortable while creating so much turmoil in your social environment? You create so much emergency situations through your behavior. Why are you so indifferent about this? And then they start becoming emotional immediately. It's a switch of behavior to create another response in the people around them. So you tell them you're callous, you're indifferent, you're psychopathic actually at this moment, and then they say, all right, now I will put out some crocodile tears so that I create a different response in the people around me. So crying for a psychopath is an attempt to modify the behavior and response of people around them. Yeah, so they switch slightly both behavior and strategies and narration to get the result they want. It's possible to call them out on this and catch them, but it's not easy, and it's actually all vanity.